So this is the first set for today. Let me hide myself so that I am visible. 1 second. Sorry, so that the set is visible, not I am visible. Yeah, good afternoon, Sonali. A, B, C, D, E, P, Q, R, S, and T are 10 friends living in 10 houses built in 2 parallel rows of 5 houses, such that A, B, C, D, E are living on the left and P, Q, R, S, T are living on the right side of a road. Such that the 2 rows of 5 houses, such that one house faces exactly one house on the opposite side. So it's most probably it's this is the road. On the left hand side we have 5 houses and on the right hand side we have got 5 houses, right? Such that every house has got one house facing each other, right? The houses of A, B, C, D are colored out of these many colors and the houses of these are colored out of these many colors in such a way that all 10 colors are used to color exactly one house. So every house has got a unique color, right? It is also known that none of this stay in a house at the extreme ends of any of the rows. The colors of the houses at the extreme ends are this and this and this. So this question again comes down to a linear arrangement, but it's not in a line, it's rather in 2 lines, 2 rows. Actually, if you look at the way it is drawn, it's in 2 columns. And then you have to figure out who lives where and what would be the color of their houses, right? So let's draw a scenario exactly like that. These are 5 people on the left side, these are 5 people on the right hand side. And what we are going to do is we are going to read these statements in an order such that we can identify कि exactly क्या चल रहा है ना? तो चलो इसको मैं थोड़ा छोटा कर देता हूँ so that we will have space for rough work. Okay. So it is known that A, B, C, D are living on the left, right? So we have A, B, C, D, E, they are living on the left hand side. And P, Q, R, S, T, they are living on the right hand side, right? The colors of A, B, C, D, E are gray. Let's write it here. इस side लिख लेते हैं. So gray color, black color, blue, red and green. And on the right hand side the colors are of course the remaining ones, which are yellow, purple, white, orange and pink, right, in some order. ठीक है. Now none of A, B, C or Q, R, T stays in the house at the extreme ends of the row. So if you look at the left hand side, okay, we are looking at the first statement. If you look at the left hand side column, what we will find is A, B, C cannot stay at the ends. So it's going to be D or E, or maybe this is D and this is E. Similarly, on the right hand side, you can't have Q, R and T at the end. So it's going to be either P or S, or accordingly this is going to be S or P. ठीक है, मैं इसको थोड़ा छोटा लिख देता हूँ because we also need the colors here. So I'll write D/E here. नीचे जगह छोड़ देते हैं. E/D here. Similarly, P/S, and we will have S/P. Okay. Now, the colors of the houses at the extreme ends of the 2 rows are pink, yellow, green and gray. So let's use this. इसके लिए color के लिए I'm using a different color marker. So we have pink and yellow, green and gray. So can we say we will be having green here or gray? And accordingly we are going to have gray here or green, because left side पे यही 2 colors हैं. So gray and green are taken, right? D and E are taken. Similarly on the other side, P and S are taken, and the colors are pink and yellow. So we can have the pink color here, or we can have the yellow color, or maybe we can have pink color here and we can have yellow color here. So yellow and pink are also taken, right? Okay, next statement. R, who stays in the purple house, is not in the middle house in the row, right? So R is on the right hand side. R is going to be either here or here. And wherever R goes, purple goes. Okay, so we don't know where R is because it doesn't stay in the middle one. So R is not there. So R is at the second position from the top or second position from the bottom. Right? So we really cannot conclude much. So we will come back to third later on. 1 second. Yeah, excuse me. Fourth statement says B who stays in the black house. B is on the left hand side, does not have his house facing Q, and Q does not stay in the White House. Right? So what happens is now R stays, suppose R idhar hai, R is on the second, okay, assumption. And this is purple color, right? And then it says we also are going to have a Q somewhere, and Q does not stay in White House. So purple color is taken by R, and if Q is not going to be in the White House, that means Q goes in the Orange House. That means T is going to be in the White House because R जो है वो purple ले चुका है, right? So wherever Q will go, orange will accompany it, and wherever T will go, white will accompany it, right? So we don't know where that is, so I'm erasing that part also. We do know that B stays in the black house, so B के लिए black हो जाएगा, and the moment black is done, we can strike out black also because this is also fixed. Only blue and red right now we are confused as to between A and C who will take that. है ना? Okay. Fifth statement. B and C are not immediate neighbors. Now the thing is, B and C are not immediate neighbors. So it means B is going to be at the top, as in not top, second from the top, or C is going to be here, or maybe C is here and B is here. Now whatever is the scenario here, A to बीच में ही होगा भाई, right? Now if you look at the next part of the statement, it says SRT have their houses next to each other. Now SRT are going to have their houses next to each other. It means S is at one of the ends, so R is going to be at some ends. That means T has to be here. अगर S है तो R इधर होगा. If S I will take at the bottom, then R is going to be at the second, isn't it? So T is confirmed that it will be at the center. And if T is at the center, its color is white. So let's place white here. Okay, so we are done with the fifth one. Now we know that B who stays in the black house does not have his house facing Q. So wherever B will go, Q cannot go there, right? So accordingly, we will have the arrangement for S and R. Okay, next statement. D who lives in the gray house. Okay, now we know that D lives in the gray house, does not face P, and P lives in the pink colored house, right? So अपन ये काम करते हैं. Let's assume that D stays at the top, so E stays at the bottom. D lives in the gray colored house, that means E lives in the green colored house. The moment I assume D is at this particular end, he does not face P, that means he faces S, that means E faces P. Now P lives in the pink colored house, that means S lives in the yellow colored house. And the moment we have S here and SRT there need to be in consecutive, we will have R here and obviously Q here. Now we know that B does not have his house facing Q, so we cannot have B here. So this is what we will have. Let's write down their colors. R takes up purple and Q takes up orange. B takes up, sorry, B should be here. गलती से गलत mistake हो गया. So B takes up black. What about A and C and is in blue and red? Do we have any blue and red here? No. So between A and C, one of them is going to be blue and another is going to be red. So these are the two scenarios. No, Vaishnav, you should obviously look into DI, even if your quant is good. Okay. Yeah, good afternoon, Tarun. Okay. So we will accordingly shift D as it is going to be asked. But when it comes to who is opposite to whom, who is beside whom, that thing is perfect, right? Suppose if D is not at the top, D is at the bottom. So the second, the right hand side column will also completely swap, right? Chalo, let's look at the questions now. The first question says, which of the following statements is or are true is sufficient to uniquely determine the color of houses for all the 10 people? First, अगर हमें पता है, suppose T does not live in the orange house. We already know it, right? So this is not helpful, right? We know that Q lives in the orange house, ये तो पता ही है हमें. So one is not helpful, so A can't be your answer and D can't be your answer. Now, between B and C, we can choose third, B. The blue house is exactly opposite the house in which T lives. So, the moment we know T के opposite blue होने वाला है, so we know A is blue and C is red. So, we will know exactly कौन सा बंदा किस कलर हाउस में रहता है. So, can we say 2 alone से हो जाएगा? Sorry, 3 alone will do. Right? If 3 alone does, so B and C, 3 alone, not 1 alone, ये perfect है. अच्छा, 2 भी check करना पड़ेगा. The blue house is exactly in the middle of black and red house. Blue house is exactly in between black and red house. ये भी बता देगा कि blue is the house of A. Right, blue colored house A का है, तो second से भी आ गया. So can we say C is going to be the answer, because in both these cases we know exactly. मैं erase कर देता हूँ, next question में भी use करना है. So can we say in each of the 3 possibilities, 1 alone से नहीं आएगा answer, 2 alone से we will get the answer, 3 alone से we will get the answer, right? So, C होना चाहिए आंसर. So, C is the answer. Second question, Q lives in the house of which color? Q lives in the house which is orange in color, right? So, C हो गया आंसर. What is the numerically the average of the respective ranks of P, Q and I? It should be P, Q and I. Hold on. It should be some other. One second. Should be P, Q and T होना चाहिए. Okay. So rank as in their position from the top or from their top. Okay. So that is what numerically would mean. है ना? Okay. So if you remember, we really cannot. So question is, what is numerically the average of the respective ranks of P, Q and T? So if you look at P, Q and T, the average rank will be definitely less than, I mean, T का third है, Q का fourth है, P का fifth है. But then the thing is, D can take the bottom cell. D and E can interchange, and accordingly S and P will interchange. So obviously we would not know whether TQP are the bottom 3 people or they are the top 3 people. So obviously we won't be able to determine it, right? So इनमें से कोई नहीं होगा. 5, 6, 7 इसमें से कोई भी rank नहीं होने वाला. Rank here would mean their position. Okay. Fourth, which of the following can be the color of the house opposite to the red colored house? So red colored house can be A or C. उसके opposite white या orange ही हो सकता है, right? So the answer is going to be white or orange. White is not there, orange is there, so orange will be the answer. Next one is, which of these are definitely the colors of the two houses exactly in the middle of the respective rows? If you remember, in the middle of the respective rows, A जो बंदा है लेफ्ट साइड कॉलम में, इसका कलर फिक्स नहीं है. सो मिडिल वालों का हाउस कलर, it is definitely white, but the other one is either blue or red, we are not sure. So cannot be determined, right? It could be white and blue, it can be white or red, दोनों हो सकता है. So the answer is going to be cannot be determined, right? Relatively easy set. Okay, next, read the given instructions carefully and answer the questions that follow. It looks like a DI because we can see a table. A homemaker bought 3 different sets of bedding and linen items. Each set had 5 types of products, namely mattress, bed covers, pillows, curtains, and rugs. The total cost across the 3 different sets and 5 products categories is rupees 62,500. Okay. The following table gives the cost proportion for each product spent in each set out of the total amount spent on the product in all the sets together. So what it means is कि ये 0.35, 0.25 ये आपको percentages given है, ठीक है, कि they all constitute 100% of the mattress, as in कि mattress के 3 sets थे. Its 25% was third type mattress, 35% was 2 type mattress, and remaining of course 40% would be type 1 mattress, right? Okay. Similarly, bed cover में जो भी होगा, the sum of all the 3 cells in every row should be 100%. If you look at set 1, set 2, set 3, their sum should be a total of 100%. So this is so far 62.88, right? So that means we will have 37.22% as set 1. टोटल जितना खर्चा था उसका 37.22% इज सेट 1, और उस सेट 1 में जो whatever was the total cost उसका 40%, 35, 25, this is the proportion. Okay, in other words इस रेशियो में लिया गया. Next it says the total percentage in each column shows the percentage amount spent out of the total amount spent on all product types for each of the 3 sets. So like I said, 37.22% denotes कि set 1 में जितना खर्चा हुआ है across all the 5 products, that is 37.22%. So 37.22% is the percentage amount spent out of the total amount spent on all product types for each of the 3 sets. ठीक है? Okay. It is also known that the percentage of spending on pillows, curtains, and rugs out of the total spending is equal. In set 1, the cost for bed covers and rugs as a proportion of the total spent for all the 3 sets for the 2 products respectively is in the ratio 4:3 and so on. Right? So it is very important for us to understand what does these values they represent. Okay, ये क्या कैलकुलेशन करना है हमें क्या चाहिए. तो हुआ क्या, so one day I went to this store and I decided to buy few items, out of which one was mattress, और mattress के मैं 3 types खरीद के लेकर आया, type 1, type 2, type 3. Then I also bought bed cover, उसके भी I bought 1, 2 and 3 type. Not 1 mattress, 2 mattresses and 3 mattresses, इनका type है, product type है. इसको ऐसे समझ लो, स्मॉल मीडियम लार्ज कैटेगरीज के लेकर आ रहे हैं. ओके, सिमिलरली आई बॉट कर्टेन्स, पिलोज एंड रग्स. नाउ व्हेन आई लुक एट द टोटल अमाउंट आई एम गोइंग टू स्पेंड ऑन मैट्रेसेस, सो ये हमारा सपोज 100 रुपीज है, राइट? सो आउट ऑफ दैट 100 रुपीज, इफ यू लुक हियर, 25% of that 100 rupees, यानी 25 rupees I spent on type 3 का mattress. 35% of 100 means 35 rupees I spent on type 2 का mattress. And similarly type 1 का remaining पैसा. right? Okay, so suppose I do that. Now, if I look at only type 1 category, कि small वाले कितने खर्च किए थे, out of 100, suppose if I spent 100 rupees over here, 100 rupees ka, you know, some percentage I have spent as bed cover, right? So, जो total spending है, उसका percentage wise is set wise. So the column wise we can't calculate that, row wise we can calculate. That's what it is given. Total percentage in each row shows the percentage amount spent out of total amount. Total amount 62,500 है, ठीक है? उसका 12% was spent on bed covers, उसका 8% was spent on pillows. On all the sets for each of the 5 products, all the sets मतलब throughout 1, 2, 3 सब मिलाकर. Now, the second statement says the total percentage in each column. Each column would mean we are looking at these numbers. Okay, दो ही given है. This shows the percentage amount spent out of total amount spent on all product types for each of the 3 sets. तो total 62,500 है हमारे पास फिर से. उसका this percentage and this percentage was spent on set 1, set 2 and set 3. I hope this part is clear. Right? If this part is clear, so that means we are supposed to draw a table, right? From this scratch. और हमें उस table में सारे values fill करने होंगे. So we will need this table for sure, which has got 5 columns and which has got 3, 6, 7 rows. ठीक है, तो रुको मैं बनाता हूं. So 7 rows and 5 columns. Hold on. थोड़ा सा लंबा कर देता हूं मैं इसे. Right? Because we need to put in the percentages as well as the values. And we are also supposed to so we are also supposed to put in the values that we already know. तो उसके लिए भी मैं fill कर लेता हूँ, right? So the thing that you guys will be doing on the paper, I am right now doing here. So this is set 1, this is set 2, this is set 3, and this one is total. Then we have got mattress, then we have got bed cover. Because if I, you know, annotate it, तो दिक्कत ये हो जाएगा कि, see, so what I will do is इसको थोड़ा और छोटा कर देते हैं. Now this is fine. And then we will have, so if I annotate it and if I erase something, no, sub erase ho jayega. So it should be already typed in, wala type. Okay. So in the exam also you are supposed to, you know, rewrite all of this. Uske bina to kuch hoga nahi. So we will have 0.25 and then we have 12%. And then we have 0.28 here. Then we have 8%. Set 3 mein this is 0.2. This is 34.08%. And this is 28.8%. Right? Ye part I hope abhi theek hai. So we are supposed to fill it over here. And the total amount is 62,500. Okay. So total is 62,500. So the first thing that we need is, what is 12% of 62,500? What is 8% of 62,500? Right? What is 34.08% of 62,500? हमें ये सारे numbers चाहिए. So what is 12% of 62,500? See, 10% is 6,250, 2% is 1,250. ये तो टोटल हो जाएगा आपके पास 7,500, 7,500. Now, what would be 8%? Obviously 5,000. Right? 3:2 का ratio है. Okay. Next comes in what is 28.8% of 62,500. So, this is going to be 288 and 625 is in powers of 5. So 288 है अगर हमारे पास तो 288 is 9 into 32 and 32 में से 16 यूज हो जाएगा 625 के साथ and we'll be left with 18,000. Right? Next is what is 34.08% of 62,500. So 3408 is 3 से है उसका डबल 21,300. Right? So अब जो बच जाएगा that is going to be from 62,500 में से. So this is going to be 23,200. Right? Total is 6250. We don't know the other percentages. ठीक है? Okay, let's fill in the table using the information now. So basic चीजें हमें पता होनी चाहिए कि इतना खर्चा हुआ है. अब इसका ratios देख लेंगे बाद में. Okay, the percentage of spending on pillows, curtains and rugs out of the total spending is equal. Great. तो इन पे जो खर्चा हुआ है टोटल का सब सेम हुआ है. So this is 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So looks like mattress पे सबसे ज्यादा खर्चा हुआ है. So this is going to be 15,000 plus 7,500, which is 22,500. So that means the remaining 40,000 was spent on mattresses. Right? Okay. Now, 40,000 was spent on mattresses and the proportions are, let's write it down. This is 0.4, right? 0.4, 0.35, 0.25 is 1. So 40% of 40,000 अब fill करना है. So I'll write it a little smaller. 40,000 of 40% of 40,000 is going to be 14 into 4, 16,000. Now 35% of 40,000, 35 का double 7, and then that will give us 14,000. 7 का double 14. 25% of 14,000 is going to be 10,000. या फिर ऐसे देख लो 16 plus 14 plus 10 is 40. Now 32% of 75,000, sorry 7,500 is going to be 32, 75, so 150, 300, 800, 2,400. So 2,400 is what this will be. We don't know the others. 28% of 5,000. So 0.28 into 5 will give us 1,400. Next is 0.2 of 5,000. 20% of 5,000. This is going to be simply 1,000. Okay, so we're done with statement A. Statement B now says in set 1, so we will be looking at the first column, cost for bed covers, which is the second one, and rugs, so this and this, as a proportion of total spent for all the three sets for the two products respectively is in the ratio of 4:3. As a proportion of total spent on all the three sets for all these products, sorry, for the two products. is in the ratio 4:3. Okay, set 1, as in we are looking at the first column, cost for bed covers and rugs, these two cells, as a proportion, as a fraction of total spent on all the three sets are in the ratio 4:3. ठीक है, so that would mean if that is 2400, so this remaining part is going to be 4:3 है ना, so this is going to be 1800. Obviously, so that 2400 and 1800, they are in the ratio 4:3, right? So the moment we are done with this, we would know set 2 का rugs कितना है. 1800 plus 1000 is 2800, so this should be 2200. Okay. Next statement, in set 3, the third column, the cost of curtains and rugs as a proportion of total spending for the three sets, same thing, they are in the ratio 2:1. 2:1 मतलब अगर ये 1000 है, that means this is going to be 2000, right? Curtains and rugs in the ratio 2:1. So the moment this is 2000, this is 1400, 3400, so this is going to be 1600. Now the moment this is 1600, this sum total is 23,200. So let's see how much we are done with. 16 plus 2, 18, 19, 20. 20,000 हो चुका है. 21,000. 21,800 we already have. So that would mean that is another 1400. Right? So that 21,800 and 1800. Sorry, 1400. 1800 नहीं 14 करा था ना. एक सेकंड, 1400 ही होगा ना. ठीक है, 1400. Right? This will give us 23,200. Okay, next statement. In set 2, the cost for pillows, as in this one, and in set 3, the cost for rugs, they are equal. Acha. So that means if that is 1000, this is also going to be 1000. अब complete हो जाएगा table. 1400 plus 1000 is 2400. We need overall 5000. So this is going to be 2600. Now look at set 3 overall value. We need 18,000, out of which 15,600 we already have. So this would mean another 2,400. Right? Now 2,400 plus 2,400 is 4,800. We need 7,500. So this would mean another 2,500. And we can just add these values and verify कि ये 21,300 आता है कि नहीं. So 14,000, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. अच्छा, ये 21,700 होगा. Sorry, 2,700 होगा. Why? Because 48 plus 27 is 75. So once the table is done, now we can move ahead with the questions. What is the amount of money spent in set 1 on pillows? Set 1 pillows 1400? Hold on. Set 1 on pillows. Amount spent in set 1 on pillows. Set 1 pillows statement B we had. In set 1, cost for bed covers. And rugs as a proportion of total amount spent on all the three sets was 4:3. 4:3. ठीक है, if that is 32 as in 0.32, यानी 2400 corresponds to 0.32. Okay. Okay. It says the proportion is that, मतलब अगर 0.32 अगर 4 डिनोट करता है तो 3 is going to be denoted by 24. 0.24 as in. So what is 24% of 500? 24% of 500 is going to be 1200. Isn't it? Okay, proportion ko I compared the values. Shit. So mistake here. Mistake here. See, the moment we looked at the value, we realized it's a mistake. हमें फिर से एक बार करना पड़ेगा. I believe these all values we had already figured out, right? Okay, so what it says, the proportion, right? So 0.32 represents 4. So 3 क्या होगा? This is going to be, for rugs, it is going to be 0.24. Now this 0.24 is not going to be 2400 के respect में, it's going to be with respect to 5000 because the bases are different. Let's complete set 3 also. In set 3, the cost for curtains and rugs, they are in the ratio 2:1. So if this is 0.2, this is going to be 0.4. Now 0.28, 0.4, this is going to be 0.32, right? 0.32 plus 0.28 plus 0.4 is 1. 0.24 plus 0.2 is 0.44. So this is going to be 0.56. Okay. So done with B and C. D says in set 2, the cost for pillows, ठीक है, ये तो magnitude है, it's not about the proportion. Now, what is 0.4 of 5000? So this is going to be 2000. And this is 3400. So this is going to be 1600. Right? ठीक है. Now, what is 0.24 of 5000? So this is going to be 24 into 5. So this is 1200. This is 56 into 5. This is 2800. Anyways, 12 plus 28 plus 1000 is 5000. Let's look at set 1 ka overall value. We have 16,000 plus 2,400 and then 1,600 and then 1,200. This is 21,200. So this is going to be 2,000. Okay. Can we fill out anything else? No. In set 2, last statement, the cost for pillows. So cost for pillows as in this part. And in set 3, the cost for rugs as a proportion of the total amount spent for all the 3 sets are equal. Proportion मतलब अगर वो 0.2 है तो this is also going to be 0.2. Right? So if this is going to be 0.2, so what is 20% of 5000? So this is going to be 1000. इसका bracket हटा देते हैं. Now, if this is going to be 1000, 2000 plus 1000, this is going to be another 2000. Now, let's look at the column wise. Set 3 ka 10 plus 2, 12, 14, 15. So this is going to be 3000. And if you look at bed cover wala row, 3000 plus 2400 is 5400. We need an overall of 7500. So we will need 2100 here. Proportion we can calculate vice versa. ठीक है. So silly mistake, proportion को गलत compare कर लिया था. What is the amount of money spent in set on? in set 1 on pillows. Set 1 on pillows is 2000. C option. What is the ratio of amount spent on rugs in set 1? Rugs in set 1 is 1200 and curtains in set 3. Curtains in set 3 is 2000. They both are in the table of 4. So this is 3:5. So D ho jana chahiye answer. Next one. The amount of money spent on curtains in sets 1 and 2 put together. Curtains ka on 1 and 2 put together. That is 3000, 1600 plus 1400. Right? So that is 3000 is equal to which of the following? Okay. The amount of money spent on pillows in sets 2 and 3 put together. So pillows set 2 and 3, that is 3000. Right? So ye ho sakta hai. Because we have an option which says more than one is possible, so we'll have to check option B and C also. B statement says the sum of the money spent on bed covers in set 3 and curtains in set 3. Bed cover and curtains in set 3. Bed cover and curtains in set 3. Oh no, that is way more than 3000. So ye nahi ho sakta. The amount of money spent on rugs in sets 1 and 2 put together. Money spent in rugs in sets 1 and 2 together. That is 4000, right? ये भी नहीं हो सकता. तो ये भी नहीं हो सकता. So the answer is supposed to be option A. A is going to be the answer. Next one. Out of all the products, how many of the products across the 3 sets and 5 categories taken together was the amount spent more than or equal to 2000? तो देख लेते. More than or equal to 2000 में we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them, right? इसके नीचे और इसके side में नहीं जा सकते because that is about going beyond the set types. It's the total component. So 10 of them. See? Okay, so a silly mistake in the understanding of the proportion part, we had to redo the set. Otherwise, it was pretty decent DI, isn't it? The language are the statements used in such DIs, they are little confusing, so we have to be a little carefully. In set 1 rug, 1800 how? In set 1 rug, no, it's not 1800. That's what I made the mistake. It was in the ratio of 4:3, no? So what I made the mistake was I was looking at the magnitude, but it said proportion, no? So instead of saying that 4 corresponds to 0.32, तो 3 क्या correspond करेगा? मैंने गलती से ये ले लिया कि 4 corresponds to 2400, तो 3 will correspond to what? So this is the mistake I did. The bases are different, right? So obviously the proportions, even though the ratios are same, the final values will be different. So ये एक mistake हो गया था. Because of that mistake, the entire table was filled wrong. And thankfully, with the very first question, I was getting 1800 there, right? Option में 1800 है ही नहीं. So तुरंत पता चल गया कि कुछ तो mistake हुआ है. So went back and corrected it. Right? In the series 500 most expected CAT questions. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.